Good morning, Vlogsters. It is Thursday. I tell you what, I am bushed. I am beat. I am tired, physically, because Jane and I literally threw ourselves into trying to get the house done, or at least some of our projects done. Not that we did all the projects. No. We just got the bedroom finished up. We literally downsized a lot of our clothing. In fact, I was so busy yesterday trying to get stuff done that I forgot to read. Yeah, when it came time to settle in for the night, I fell right asleep. I zonked right out. I probably got about 8 to 10 hours worth of sleep now that I'm thinking about it. Because what time did we finally go in the bedroom to settle down? Probably about 1 o'clock. So yeah, I probably got about 8 to 9 hours, not 10. 8 to 9 hours. And then we woke up this morning and Jerry-Ann wanted to check my blood sugar because of the way, I guess, something that was going on yesterday made her concerned. But my blood sugar is at 88, which is good. Of course, I think one of the biggest reasons why it was so at that point, which is low for me, less soda intake. So that's a plus of not working no more, because usually I drink my soda at work just to keep my energy level high. So today we're using it as an R&R day, rest and recuperation, or rest and relaxation, however you want to put it. I'm going to call it rest and recuperation. We were going to take Mom out today, but because of the way Jerry-Ann was feeling this morning, I talked to Mom. Mom said, it's okay, take your day to rest and whatnot. Tomorrow we'll do our thing. But part of the reason why Jerry wanted me to talk to Mom about it was because we were going to take her out for dinner, and we have no plans for dinner today. So dinner is going to be one of those, what can we pull out of the freezer and defrost and make quickly without too many problems? So Jerry was the one who basically said, if I feel better, we can either go out or order out. But Mom's like, whatever you guys want to do, just not push yourselves, basically, is what she was saying. I love Mom to death. She actually went out yesterday, and while she was running her errands, she decided, slow down, Jim. No, my brain's not awake yet. She decided to go to Panera. Because she wanted a few things from Panera, but she got some extra, she got a dozen bagels, and she got me some bear claws. She knows I like bear claw. I mean, I love a good bear claw. For those of you who don't know what a bear claw is, it's a type of pastry with a almond date paste in between it, and they cut it just right so it looks like a big old bear paw. And it's covered with like shaved almond and a drizzle of vanilla cream or vanilla icing, just a little of the icing, and they're delicious. I love them to pieces. I've loved them since I was a kid. It was one of my father's favorite pastries here in the States. I don't know if we got them over in Germany or not. I don't remember if we did, I don't remember what they were called, because I don't think they're called a bear claw. I think that's an American thing. So she got like an assortment of bagels. She got cinnamon crunch bagel, raisin cinnamon swirl bagel, plain bagel, and I can't remember if it was blueberry or she said chocolate chip bagel. Um, chocolate chip bagel sounds interesting. At the same time, sounds very odd. But it's one of the things I miss about New York is their, you know, most of their delicatessens in New York had fresh made bagels. There was cannot remember the name of the place, but it was Oceanside, New York, right across the major road, right across Long Beach Road from. Well, it was on Long Beach Road. It wasn't really across from where I worked, but it was up the road, about a block or so away from where I worked. Um, and they have what they call an everything bagel. And I recently learned how they make the everything bagel. And this is probably how Trader Joe can sell the everything but the bagel seasoning. Basically, what an everything bagel is most bagel shops will make bagels that have just poppy seed, just sesame seed, just garlic, various toppings from the various types of bagels. Well, at the end of the day, all those toppings would go down and be on the lower shelf underneath all the bagels. And so what the deli shops learned how to do is they learned how to take all those seasonings, brush it into a container or get it into a container, and they started making everything bagel, which is basically all the variety of seasonings from all the variety of bagels will get put on top of these everything bagels. And take one of those bagels with an egg and sausage sandwich with butter. That was like decadent. Very, very love them. You can't get those here in Missouri because here in Missouri, I don't know about Panera, but most of the places that sell bagels here, they're either pre-packaged or pre-made from a different location and brung onto location. So we don't get the everything bagel here in Missouri, but I can take one of Mom's plain bagels and sprinkle some of the everything but the bagel seasoning on top of that, and won't be as good because the bagels, when they make them with the everything seasoning, the everything seasoning gets baked into the bagel itself, so it sticks to the bagel. So I don't know how well. Ooh, there's an idea. Take a plain bagel, cut it open, make scrambled eggs, sprinkle the everything but the bagel seasoning into the scrambled egg, scramble it up just right where it's not broken. It's more like a folded omelet with nothing in it. Slap that on the plain bagel with a slice of ham or a sausage patty and maybe melted cheese. I think I just made breakfast. I'm sorry, folks. I haven't eaten yet, so I'm kind of hungry, and I just thought about that one. Why did I think about that earlier? So I might try to do that and surprise Jerry Ann with oh wait, those bagels are supposed to be for Mom, and Jerry can't have a bagel. Oy, I'll figure out something. Because I know the plain bagel and the well, Mom will eat most of the bagels that I'll eat, so there's nothing in there that's funky or whatnot. Even though Mom loves the when last year when my sister-in-laws, my two sister-in-laws, came and visited from New York, they brung us a bunch of different varieties. They brung us almost 24 variety bagels, and one of the bags that had a variety of bagels had everything bagels plus egg bagels. Yes, bagels that are just made with an egg instead of just regular bread and yeast and whatever the dough is made out of. They add egg to it, so it tastes like an egg bagel. And they brung us regular plain egg bagels and everything egg bagel, which is basically everything seasoning on an egg bagel. And because the way they make it in New York, it's fresh, and the garlic that goes onto these bagels tastes like freshly granulated or freshly mashed garlic, not dehydrated garlic sprinkled on a bagel. It's like fresh garlic. It's the New York way. And Mom loves the flavor of the bagel and whatnot, but does not like eating the bagel. So when we opened up that bag, and it was a variety of bagels, including everything bagel and egg bagel with everything seasoning and plain egg bagel, Mom loved it because of the fact that it was the smell and the taste of the garlic. So, yeah. And I tell you what, it is true when they say that every region of the United States have different flavored bagels because of the water that's part of the ingredients for bagels. I don't know what it is about New York bagels and the way they make it. Maybe it's their water. It's like, ooh, there's nothing like this anywhere else in the United States. But enough food talk. I'm getting myself hungry, and I'm about ready to go grab a bagel and eat in front of you guys, which is rude. But anyhow, like I said earlier, I didn't get the chance to read because I got so focused on trying to do house projects that I didn't read anything from the Hagee book. Hagee for the English people, Hugie for those who know the proper pronunciation. It's strange how you can look at a word and go, okay, that's supposed to be Hagee, but then when you get to the actual saying it the way that the people that it talks about says it, it's like Hugie. You say Hagee there, they're probably going to look at you like, what? But if you go there and say Hugie, they're going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, let's go Hugie. That and a factor, I had plenty of excuse me, no talking while I'm trying to do this. I got a bird outside. It sounds like a squeaking wheel. Distractions. I'm easily distracted today because of my brain's all over the place. But since today is going to be a down day, an R&R day, I'm probably going to get more than ample time to read and make notes and mark sections of the book that I think are noteworthy. But I listened to you guys' comments about a secondary channel, and I'm going to stick with just one channel with a variety of stuff. I know one or two people talked about doing more cooking videos because you guys thought they were fun. Not that I don't think they're fun, it's just I have not been cooking as much because it's either when we cook, it's something that that's not really part of the Nordic book or anything like that. I know for the most part, a lot of the keto product or keto meals that we've been eating are Jerry's stick. They're not mine. That in fact, most of the stuff that she's been cooking has been in the Instant Pot, one pot meals, which are interesting. But I wanted to, one of the many things that I want to do now that I'm not working outside the house, is open up all my different cookbooks and start making a list of foods that I want to cook for my channel, including Nordic foods. I did talk to Jerry Ann, and I asked her if she would help me take a lot of the foods that we've been talking about and turning them keto, because not all of them are keto. In fact, for the most part, other than the Nordic Way book, most of my cookbooks are like not full meals, they're individual dishes. So it's like, how can I do this for a video, type thing. That in fact of the recipes I don't have it in here, it's in the living room. A lot of recipes in the Hugie book are quick and easy snacks for traveling. Some of them are not full meals, but there's the recipe is designed for a small gathering of 6 or more. So it's like, I know Jerry's good with adjusting recipes for our little 3-person family. She's actually been very useful with the upgrading the recipes in the Nordic Way book, because most of them are designed for 1 or 2 people. She's been able to upgrade the amounts of ingredients for the 3 people or more. In fact, a lot of times we take the one recipe I have, which is for a chicken salad, which is a simple dish. I mean, I don't know if I've ever done it on video. In fact, if anybody wants to go back and try to find my cooking videos and ask me to either do it again, or if you hear me mention a particular recipe but I have not done it on a video, just in the comments let me know, hey, you talked about this particular recipe and I could not find it. Can you show me how to do it again? No problem. But like the chicken recipe, you take 2 or 3 chicken breasts, you grill them up on your stove, fry it up on your stove, or if you happen to have a what looks like a grill pan, I have a cast iron pan with ridges that make it look like grilled food, like you did it on the barbecue. I haven't used that in a while, but I used to use that quite often for making certain recipes, because either A, I did not want to do them on the barbecue, or B, I just found it easier to do it that way. But you take your grilled chicken, you cut it up into bite-sized morsels, and you set it off to the side. Then you take, I use Napa cabbage, and you cut that up into, you can cut it up to look like it's been shaved, or you can cut it up to be easier for you to eat. Then it takes cubed up Swiss cheese and honey, oil, and some other kind of seasoning that you use for the dressing. It basically tells you how to make the whole thing from start to finish: dressing, cutting, grilling, the whole 9 yards. And usually we make it for 2 people, because the amount of ingredients just for 2 people is more than enough to feed the 3 of us. So we might increase the chicken just to make sure there's enough chicken. But usually that particular salad, there's very little to no chicken left over when we're done, and there's plenty of the cabbage part, the cabbage, cheese, and dressing, and we'll bag it up or put it in a food saving container. And Jerry loves munching on it when I'm not around to cook, or when she just gets peckish and wants to, have a little snack, but she wants to have something healthy, so she'll go for the leftover cabbage part. I think the hardest dish that I've made so far, that I have not repeated for one reason or another, mostly because the fact Mom and Jerry are not big fans of salmon. I tried to do poached salmon one day. It did not turn out. It was not, either A, I didn't do it right, or B, I just, for the most part, we're not seafood friendly people. I do like certain kinds of seafood. I do like fluke and flounder. I learned to love it because of the way my father-in-law used to make it. In fact, we have some frozen flounder packs in our freezer. They're airtight, sealed at the factory flounder patties. I like my shrimp. Not a big fan of lobster. I like my canned tuna fish. I don't think I'll ever know how to make tuna out of the can, or not with a can. So I'm not a big fish person, which is kind of like, oh, that's not gonna be that great when you go to Norway, because Norway is primarily fish dishes. I never tried lamb, so I don't know if I'm a lamb person, because I've seen recipes for lamb kebab or lamb, I forget what they're called, but they look like the lamb's ribs, but they're not the ribs. There's some other part of the lamb. Just the way they make them and put them together, it looks like you know, bone sticking up in the air and meat on the, you know, on the plate type deal. There's a lot of things that I've been reading from various Nordic cookbooks that I'm like, I'm willing to give it a go. I'm willing to give it a try and see if I like it. And if I don't like it, I just won't make it again. It's probably one of the reasons why I haven't made salmon again yet I still have a salmon patty in my, or a salmon flank, however you want to call it, in my freezer that I'm probably going to end up getting rid of because it's old and getting frostbitten. And you know, even in the freezer, meat won't stay so long before they become icky. Like, they lose their texture, their flavor, and whatnot. When you go to cook them, it's not the same flavor. But one of the things that we did in the last 24 to 48 hours is we went into our freezer, our big freezer, which has got most of our meat products and other things. We have a giant regular size freezer that you can buy, and then we have like the regular freezer that's part of the fridge freezer part, and the regular freezer here is not big enough to contain as much food as we need as a household. So this big freezer out here has like our meats, our frozen sides, our frozen, our breads, our packaged, basically most of it's packaged products. No, there's, Mom has maybe a couple boxes of pre-made meals that she just has to microwave, which right now we don't have a microwave because it doesn't want to work. And then our freezer out here in the kitchen has got like frozen vegetables and breakfast products. Most of our breakfast products are basically we make in bulk every so often, pancakes, waffles, or French toast, and we put it in this freezer. That way, in the morning time, we don't have to go all the way out there for breakfast. We can just pull out a couple pre-made waffles, stick them in the microwave or toaster oven, and heat them up. And there's a quick, simple breakfast. Or there are some days where I don't feel like making breakfast, like scrambled eggs or corned beef hash or anything like that. And Jerry doesn't feel like doing it, so it's like, all right, how many waffles? How many pancakes? What do you want? I can throw in some waffles. I can throw in some pancakes. I can throw in a piece of French toast or two, and try to heat sausage or bacon on the stove. You know. But for the most part, now that I'm home, I can start sitting down with. I have these printouts. Basically, it's a meal plan printout. And each day has 3 or 4 lines so you can write down your basic food item. Like, for the most part, breakfast and lunch is usually, unless I feel like cooking breakfast and lunch is usually fend for yourself. You know, you decide what you want, you make it yourself, you eat it. Or in my case, Jerry, what do you want to eat? Okay, let me go make it. So I usually write down our dinner items, unless we're going to plan a full day of sit-down meals where me or Jerry does breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or I'll do breakfast, she'll do lunch, and then I'll do dinner, or we'll work together for making dinner. We have, our lives are not like written in stone and planned out where we have to do what is written down on a piece of paper. We have this, like, let's make a list of things that we want to do. If we don't get to do it that day, we'll push it off to a different day or whatever. Excuse me, my ear itched. But I'm the type of person who needs to sit down and, like, I wanted to do this earlier this week, but because we just started doing stuff that was already on a list of to-do stuff, I wanted to sit down with my schedule book, and it is no longer this day. It is no longer April. Where's my bookmark? Or do I not have a bookmark in here? It is now, okay, right here. But, okay. This has your regular basic calendar at a glance. Then it has weekly. Now, I like this a little bit better than my old one because my old one was daily. Now with weekly, it has a whole bunch of different lines, and I can write down like, this is what I want to accomplish this day. Now, if I don't accomplish it, so be it. I can move it off to a different day. And I'm not. Oh, today is National Nurses Day. For all you nurses, today is your day. Hopefully, your fellow medical personnel congratulates you or thanks you or gives you a gift. I did not realize that Tuesday was National Teachers Day. And this calendar does not have Cinco de Mayo on it. It only has certain holidays. So I apologize for everybody. I don't see... Let's see here. I see Eastern Orthodox Easter was the 2nd. Teachers Day, Nurses Day, Mother's Day, Eid al-Fitr begins, whatever that is. I don't know what holiday that is or what nationality that is. We have Armed Forces Day, Victoria Day, Memorial Day. No Cinco de Mayo. I should throw this out. It's not... Or just write it down if I know how to write it. And then we have the June holidays. No Cinco de Mayo. It had some... I want to say L if I said it right. Sounded more Middle Eastern than anything I've ever read, but that's beside the point. So we got, what do we get done in the last 24 to 48 hours? We got the freezer done. We didn't worry about the main out here because it ebbs and flows depending on what we buy for food and whatnot and how packed it is. So every time we go in and out of that main refrigerator freezer, it always changes due to items in it. We did the bedroom, which basically means we went in there. We've done my dresser. We've done one of Jarianne's dressers. We have to finish up on the smaller dresser, and when we did the top of the closet, but we have to do the main sector of the closet still. So the bedroom's not 100% done, but because of the fact that we can sit down and literally mark off stuff that we've done, we feel accomplished. The thing is, Jarianne has been having issues that I'm getting concerned about because they seem to be getting worse. And if they're getting worse, I need her to go to the doctor. But her left arm, or as she puts it, her wing is broken because it's been hurting her, it's been bugging her. But the pain and whatnot is radiating throughout the arm, but there's no chest pain. There's no classic symptoms of heart problem. And I know what it is. I know exactly what it is because it happens to me. And if I continuously sleep on that side, the problem continues to be an aggravation. She's just sleeping on that side wrong. That's all. As simple as that. I have the same problem every so often where I just feel like dead arm. That's the best. Basically, the best way she describes it is like it feels like somebody came up and gave her a dead arm, which is basically you come up to somebody, you ball up your fist, but you have your middle knuckle sticking out. So when you hit them, it hits the nerve just right where it literally hurts like heck and almost paralyzes your nerve, that nerve that you might have hit. It's commonly known as dead arm. And that's what she feels like she's been having problems with. Like somebody is giving her the dead arm. So she's limited in that it hurts her to move it. I tell her she's got to try her best to massage it or stretch it out or whatnot to the best of her ability without it being so painful that it brings her to tears. Otherwise, she's not going to get rid of the pain. I know it sounds weird to basically cause pain to get rid of pain, but it is true. The old adage is if you've got a part of your body hurting, make the other side hurt just as much, and that way you don't really, your brain does not register the pain no more. Might be one of the reasons why pain does not register that highly in my brain that much, because I've done a lot of stuff that most people be like, ah, and I'm like, oh man, that hurt. It reminds me of a TikTok that I saw that made me laugh and go, And I know a lot of you who were probably born in the 50s and 60s will agree with me. It seems like as the different generations progress forward, the younger generation is more wimpy than the last generation. I'm a 70s child. 70s child was basically, I grew up to like, if you hurt yourself, just shake it off. Just get up and shake it off. So the footage that I saw on TikTok, and I'm not going to use the same language because it's not exactly appropriate, but it goes to show a 70s child running, bumping into a TV going, ow. Like, just like, what? And then an 80s child like, ah. And then a 90s child literally hits the table, collapses on the floor, and bawls his eyes out. And I'm like, yeah. It seems like the younger generations are less apt to just shrug it off like it was like, oh, I ran into the table, no big deal, it's my fault. While the newer generations, they run into the table and they want to scream bloody murder and basically point at the table like, the table got in my way. No, you just didn't know where the table was and you weren't minding your distance type thing. It's like the newer generation wants to point their finger and blame everybody else and try to sue people for stupid shit. Excuse my language. That's just the way it seems like to me, and to a lot of other people who look at the newer generations going, you're a pansy. Get up, you hit the you ran into the table. It shouldn't hurt that bad, and you weren't even running. So get up, rub it off, keep going. Quit being a baby. I know some people might think I'm a baby because of the fact that I don't like people who are wanting to be negative or stirring unnecessary crap. You're right. I don't like people who want to stir up bullshit for no reason. Yes, to keep on getting on that bandwagon of people who want to be complaining because of my current situation or my lifestyle, or want to try to tell me and my wife, I'm such a pathetic person because I can't hold down a job. Well, no. Every job I've ever had, except for 2, since I moved to Missouri, were not my decision to leave. They were just, I don't know what it is. It seems like every time I'm at a job and I'm near my 1 to 2 year mark, they let me go. Why? Don't know. Nobody says. And it's not something that I'm doing to force them to make me leave. Like, I'm not going to work and just sit there going, no, I'm not going to do nothing but stand here and earn money. No. I was raised, if you're going to sign a dotted line to do a job, you're going to do that job to the best of your ability. And if for some reason, whether it's company policy or somebody in the company or whatever doesn't like you, they decide to get rid of you. They decide to get rid of you. The 2 jobs that I decided to leave on my own accord was because the first one, Burger King. I was a night worker. I was a night manager. And when they closed their night procedure, their night operations, most likely because they weren't getting enough business, they put me early mornings, which I told them I'm not a morning person. If you want me to work during the daytime, have me work after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because you asked me to come in and be there by 6 a.m. It might be a little bit more difficult on you than me, because I will be cranky, grouchy, and probably brain dead. But the particular day that I quit was Memorial Day. They had more than enough people to come in. They had more than enough people who came in that could be helping me at at the only open window register and intercom system, ordering system. And nope, they didn't want to help me. It was getting difficult. People were starting to go. The line for the drive-up window was around the window. And I said, can I get a little bit of help? And the GM was like, no, flat out right no. And I went, okay. Took my headset off, took my hat off, gave her the key for the store and said, see ya. Because I wasn't going to get treated like, the way she was treating me. Especially on a busy holiday like that. It was like, really? There's 9 people, 8. I'm trying to think. There's at least 6 people. And it only takes 2 to 3 people to run the kitchen. And it was basically 6 people, including the general manager. And I was like, no. Nope. This ain't happening. I'm not, no. So I left. I quit on my own accord because of the fact that I was being treated like crap. Now, I had found out about a week or so afterwards that particular general manager was, how do I say the words without being rude? Anti-male. She didn't like guys for whatever reason. I don't know. But she was married and had kids, so I didn't think she was one of those. It wasn't because of her sexual orientation or anything like that. And then I found out about a month or so later, she herself got fired. She quit. I can't remember if it was fired or quit, but she was no longer with the company. And I was just kind of like, okay. That's fine. The other job that I had, the reason why I quit was because of family situations. So I've never really quit. I have not quit a job other than those 2 jobs here in Missouri. Before that, the longest I've ever had at one job at any one location without either being fired or quitting because of one reason or another was my grocery store job in New York at Stop and Shop. I was almost there 3 years before Jerry Ann and I decided to move here to Missouri. And I tell you what, I loved my job at Stop and Shop. I mean, I loved my superiors. I loved the store manager. I loved everything about my job. Now, when Hurricane Sandy came and they asked for people to, they didn't say come in as a volunteer. They basically said you can come in and get paid while helping us clean up the store. So you know what I did? Talked to Jerry. I said, Jerry, I could be going to work and earning money. I know you need help trying to clean up the house and whatnot, but here's the choices. I stay here at the house and wait until the store is cleaned up before I go back to the store and hopefully have a job afterwards, because a lot of people did not have a job after Hurricane Sandy because they just didn't want to help the company out. Or I can stay here at home being doubly miserable with you and trying to go through all this stuff, freezing our tail end off, the whole 9 yards. And she even said, how many hours do you think you're going to work? I said, I don't know. There's no set schedule. It's just like come in when you're available, help out. You can go, sign a piece of paperwork to say when you came in, when you came out, because the time clock system wasn't working, but they were entering all the information in the computer. So I went in for 4 hours a day, 5 days out of the week, or a couple of days out of the week. I don't remember how many days it was, just so I can help the store out and get paid at the same time. I could have been like, oh, Hurricane Sandy destroyed my job. I'm going to go apply for that special unemployment that the state of New York was allowing us to have. No, I didn't. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of glad that I was denied unemployment for this incident, because according to the unemployment office, and I have their paperwork right here next to me, the company didn't pay into unemployment. Yeah, the company does not have unemployment insurance. I didn't think that was allowed or right, but it is what it is, and I'm just like, okay. And I think one of the reasons why I'm probably not getting it even though that a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, if you fill out your unemployment paperwork properly, you'll get unemployment because you lost your job due to COVID. I didn't lose my job due to COVID. I lost my job because somebody wanted to be a schmuck. But enough with that, because it's not important anymore. It's a moot point. It's a dead point. But anyhow, I want to get off this because it's been 40 minutes and I want to go sit down and relax and read or do whatever I can. Whether I sit down, relax, and do nothing, or do minor projects by myself. Don't know. But anyhow, before I do get off, I'm going to say this much. I have too many books to read, and I kept on eyeballing this book, and I'm just going to read you the basis of this. Yeah, I'm not even going to read this person's name because he or she has done a lot of different things. But anyhow, as it says here in the back of the book, it says, "Win at life the Viking way with the fascinating guide to living like a Norseman, known for being skilled craftsmen, hardworking farmers, and masters of the sea. The Vikings were a complex and captivating people, packed with revealing historical anecdotes and unexpected insights from over 300 years of Viking history. You'll discover how to weave the perfect beard braid, how warships and weapons were made, and even how to take a Viking style getaway. Whether you're looking to learn more about your family tree, hoping to increase your Nordic knowledge, or level up your LARPing, the Viking Handbook, and I'm going to spell it to you because it's not spelled like handbook. It is spelled like, I'm going to try to pronounce it, then I'll spell it. Handbuch. HONDBK with a little, I don't know if you can see it up there, that little thingy up there. K. Is a treasure trove of Viking age legend, lore, and wisdom. I keep on eyeballing it because it's been sitting on my desk because I don't want to be reading 3 different books at the same time. And if I try to read 3 different books at the same time, it's going to be a little frustrating and a bit of a headache. But, I love this. Just some of the areas Vikings had settled between the 9th and 11th century, and they give a little map and all these gray areas up here and whatnot, which is like their homeland of Finland, Norway, and Sweden. They've got bits of Britain, or a good chunk of Britain, except for the northern part, which is Scotland, because that's where the Picts lived above Hadrian's Wall. Some of the French north coast and Iceland and Denmark, of course. So basically, according to the map here, they had settlements in Iceland, Ireland, Britain, northern France, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. So my brain was like, I really, really want to get into that book, but at the same time, I don't want to try reading 2 different books and getting my information crossed. Because the Viking Handbook is about the Vikings themselves, their lifestyle, their dress style, their settlements, their farms, their tools, their weapons, their legends, their lore, a lot of different information. And then there's you know, had a hoagie, um, or had a haggy if you want to go by the English, what looks like the English spelling. You know, one is about the people of the past, and one is about the modern day Norway or Nordic thing, a Nordic life. So, but yeah, I do have a lot of different books. I still have the Viking myth book. I still have the Poetic Eddas. Still have the Havanal. Um, but summer is coming. And I'm hoping, I said I was going to end this, but it's going to be long again. I'm hoping that with the onslaught, or not onslaught, that sounds weird. With the summer months coming and whatnot, and hopefully things are getting warmer, which they were for a couple of days last week, and all of a sudden we're back down in the 60s and 40s and lows in the 40s, 30s and 40s, and the highs in the 60s. And I'm like, if it's going to be this cool, I need to be in the mountains, because this is like mountain spring weather, not Midwestern Missouri spring weather. It's not. Jay and I were joking about new places to live because actually she's dealing with menopause, and she's like, I'm getting ready to move. I think as warm as it's been lately, or as warm as she's been lately, she's ready to move to like Colorado. And I went, quit teasing me. Either get online and find places we can go live, and maybe me get a part-time job, and let's just do it. I'm one of the downsides about me not working, and I've already discovered this in the last couple of days. One of the downsides of me not working is I'm getting, I don't want to say I'm getting claustrophobic, because it has nothing to do with the walls are closing in around me. It's more like, if we lived where I want to live within our means, the ideal location for me, it would be the a small community nestled in the woods of Colorado, where I can literally just get out of my house and walk down the street, and then hit a bike trail or mountain path or whatever, that I can go take a walk in the woods, in the mountains, and be at one with nature, which is my preferred thing, or whatever, how you want to put it. But I think at this point in time, it's not a moot point. It's more like wrong time, because we have sat down and talked about what we would like to do in the future, and where we would like to live, and how we'd like to live, and all that stuff. And granted, sometimes her ideas and my ideas kind of clash like bighorn rams during the rut. But we both agreed that at this point in time, until we can get a lot of our debt paid off, which we are doing right now, it's not really one of those things. And I had said to Jerry offhandedly, and I'm sorry, this is going to be a long video because my brain is starting to kick in. I said to Jerry offhandedly, well, Mom would rather live in Prescott Valley, Arizona. I would rather live in the mountains of Colorado. We've done a lot of repair to this house, a lot of upgrades, and a lot of changes to this house. One of the changes that we did, because of the fact that we couldn't afford the chimney to be properly repaired, they were literally telling us to repair the chimney for this house, so the fireplace would be a working fireplace, is we'd have to literally deconstruct the whole thing and then reconstruct the whole flue system, because when they put the flue together, they didn't do it right, because the inner part, which is not one big metal shaft, it's tile work and whatnot on the inside, so the tiles are not sitting properly, so they're like all kind of, you know, misshapen and whatnot. So it's not a really good flue system. Now, the guy that we had come in there said that what he could do is first he'd have to take the metal box from inside the fireplace to replace that because it's got holes and whatnot, rust and whatnot from rain. The other thing is he'd have to find a way to get a metal pipe down the flue system to connect to the metal box that's part of the fireplace. But because the flue itself is all messed up, he'd have to literally deconstruct it and reconstruct it, and cost more money and blah, blah, blah. And we're like, well, what would be the cheaper option since we're not using the fireplace? And he said the cheapest option is to just take from the roof and just remove the stack that's sticking up out of the roof and cover it up with wood and whatnot, and then relay roofing. So we had him do that, had a roofer come out and redo the whole roof, brand new roofing tiles and the whole 9 yards. And it's like, okay, well, that's gonna decrease the value of the house because it's got a fireplace, but no working fireplace. It's just aesthetics. So it's kind of like, hey, if we ever go to sell this place, we would have to literally tell the new owners that the fireplace is not usable because we had to remove the chimney for this reason. And yeah, so that would decrease the value of the house. The bad gutters would decrease the value of the house. Now, because we have a new tree out there and we got rid of the old dead one, that kind of increases the value ever so slightly. We're planning on doing some work because of some of the things that need to be done on the outside of the house. So we're trying to balance the value of the house, basically. That in fact, it was a lot of stuff was done for curbside appeal or curb appeal. But anyhow, I've chatted long enough. If you enjoyed this video, even though it's kind of a long video, and I'm sorry, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put it in the question comment box. I appreciate all positive questions. I appreciate all positive questions and comments. That's what I was trying to say. If you're new to my channel and choose to join, you can click the subscribe button. And once you do that, a little bell will pop up. You click on that bell and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. So until next time, guys, have a good day. God bless. Bye.